Hello everyone, Rebecca here, long time no see. I recently got a new DIY fish insert that I wanted to share with you. This is, I've written it down here, the V63B monthly fold out with V circle week on 2 page, plus the day on 1 page. I think it's DS1 day on 1 page. Anyway, so the monthly page looks like this. On the back side, it has quadrants breaking up each of the weeks that are included in this particular month. I have not put anything there, but they could be used for forward planning or, well, there's a variety of things I could probably come up with, but at the time I haven't had a need for it, so I haven't filled it out. But on the opposite side, we have a month-long tracker at the top, as well as a Monday start grid, standard DIY fish monthly view. And then to the right of it, it has kind of like a bullet journal layout of, 1 line per day. I sometimes put birthdays or when something's expected to happen or appointments, etc., for a little bit more detail than what I have on the left side. Then when you turn the page, if I can get the page turned with one hand, there we go. We have that V circle. Now for the first week, I wasn't in this. I was just kind of like pre-filling it out because I think I started on the 6th. As you can tell, I put the wrong date on this particular week, so it really didn't matter. But I kind of like was playing around with it for this particular week, trying to figure out how I would use these inserts before I actually jumped into the following week. In this particular example, I used this page for important things that were happening for the week, and I hadn't yet figured out how to use the circle view at the top, but I'm going to show you what a friend of mine helped me kind of figure out how to use it. I'm sure there's a variety of ways, but there's 7 blocks in this particular circle, and being that my 8-hour workday kind of left out of an hour, I wasn't sure how to track things, but you'll see in other weeks how I figured out how to do that. For the time being, I just put Weight Watchers tracking, and if I slept more than 8 hours, I'm sure I did sleep more than 8 hours that week, but I did not Weight Watchers track. And I also used the bottom half for my shopping list. Then I started using the daily pages, again, just trying to figure out how I'd use it. I put in my Bible tracking devotion as well as a verse, my schedule. The only problem I was having in the beginning is that the time slot for the DIY Fish Daily inserts go from 1 a.m. to 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. I should say. And some of my appointments start at the half-hour mark, and this half-hour mark doesn't actually start until the 9 o'clock hour. And since my hours are kind of set on New York time, I really had to work around that by just writing it in. What I did like about this insert is that I could use either side for either my to-dos or the time. So at the beginning, I started using the left side for the left side of the planner pages and the right side for the right side of the planner pages. That way my hand had enough room to write in the content, but then when I started writing in my verse, I had to take the actual insert out so that my hand wouldn't be constricted by the rings. Again, this week was really just about playing with it and trying to figure out how I would use it. As you can see, not much done on that week, but then the next week. So then I decided, based on a friend's recommendation, to use this as a kind of like a life 10. Instead of life 10, do life 7. And I chose 7 things out of my life I would like to improve. And obviously you would probably set this up at the beginning of the year, but I have the F as for, oh my gosh. Let me see what I did on Thursday to figure out what F was for. I thought it was for faith, but it's not. Finances. So F was for finances, H is for health, R is for recreation, C is for career, P is for personal, the cross is for faith, and the heart is for romance. And then I decided to every time I make progress on whatever my goal was for that particular line item, if I made progress on it, I would highlight it for that particular day. Then I put, again, important dates on the left, along with my shopping in the same kind of tracker, but that evolved as well. So here is some scheduling that I did, some notes and to-dos. And Saturday and Sunday I really don't use the planner because I mostly use this planner for business purposes. So obviously, well, for me, I'm not at my desk on Saturday and Sunday, so I decided to not use the pages for those days. Again, this is the week that we're in. I haven't filled anything out up here yet, but I plan to as the week progresses. It's only Wednesday, and I have a couple more days before I can decide which days I've made progress on those habits and or goals, if you want to call them. I put important events that were happening this week and things that were due. Again, this time I changed the tracker to chores, such as my weekly chores, because the tracker over here is mostly the things I do daily, such as defrost, balance my checkbook, do my devotions, and as you see, I haven't been keeping up with that. Don't hate. Meds, taking my medication every day. I have a lot of them to prevent COVID-19. And then MOMO stands for Motivated Moms, and it's a tracking system on an Apple device that lets you track all the to-dos for every single day of the week and keeps you on track. It's an app, pretty much. And then these are chores. These are done weekly, not every day. So, I mean, I could do vacuuming every day, but who wants to do that, right? But this is just to make sure I tick it off, make sure I tick at least once per week. Then on the daily, I decided to use the pentagons, I forget what they're called, as a water tracker. So 5 that day, and the whole of the pentagon is 1 glass because there's 8 pentagons. I could break it down, but I don't want to. I was using this as top priorities for my day, but again, rings become an issue, so I would put what I hope to accomplish for chores that day. How I feel and the temperature, along with my schedule on the left and a to-do on the right. These are to-dos as well, but they were at specific times. Then schedule on the right, to-dos on the left, water tracking, and what I plan to accomplish. I did not sweep or mop yesterday. And then today. So my how I feel, my weather, the schedule. And again, these are estimates because this starts at 8 and runs to 9, but this started at 8:30 and ran till 9:30. So I had to just write it in. I didn't really care that it didn't have the time. I just knew the general time frame. I get a pop-up reminder on my desktop anyway. Then the to-dos. On my today, I do have a list of kind of the chores that I would like to accomplish over the week. I don't have as many slots for that in the tracker over here. I could just bring it down further, but you know, it's just me and my husband, and my house doesn't get that dirty, so you know, I'm not going to berate myself if I don't get a chore accomplished for that week. Again, schedule. And then I have a note to remind myself to take notes for that particular call for a colleague. Then I decided for next week, I am not going to use the daily pages because I felt like I was just moving things backward and forward. So I still plan to use this as the goal tracker. And then I put my schedule for the week down this way, chores, and my to-do list for the week for these items. I will not use the daily pages on here. I might use them for reminders like, you know, the iPad arrives, etc. But I don't plan to use it for next week, just to see how it goes. It does make it kind of compact and squished for times, such as in this particular day, I have 5 appointments, so I had to break it up to get it all in there. I expect that my schedule will start getting busier. If you think it's busy now, it's going to get even busier. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out if I'm just using this, but maybe I can put them on to both pages, maybe morning and afternoon, you know, doing it that way, and then putting the to-dos on the particular day that I am working on. I don't know. I just feel like it's duplicative to put it on both, the timed events on both pages. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you posted. I have these for September, October, and November, and we'll see how these goes for the rest of October, or excuse me, September. We are currently in September. Anyway, if you're interested to see how the month went, I'll post a follow-up video on a recap of what worked and what didn't. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.